Well, hi everybody. My name is Joe Hinson, and we are here again for SFOI Live. Sorry for the delay there and getting things started. Just got a few things in the background, trying to get things set up. And I am here again hosting, filling in for Bill. I believe he's traveling for an outreach of some sort. So we will be talking with Sam Wilking today. Sam Wilking. And he is a participant in SFOI events, and he is actually coordinating SFOI 1000 in his area. And so we're going to bring him on just shortly and have a discussion with him. We're going to get his story, talk about how he perhaps came to the Lord, and perhaps how he came to come to this kind of ministry, and hear a little bit about what he's going to be doing out there in his part of Nevada that he's going to be preaching at this season. So yeah, just as I said, I am filling in for Bill. My name is Joe Hinson. I am a full-time evangelist on staff with in the George Whitfield program with SFOI, and I'm normally based in Utah, but this week I'm actually spending some time with my older son in the state of Texas, where we're originally from. So I'm in a different time zone, and Sam's actually on Pacific time there in the state of Nevada. So we're just kind of waiting on him. And it's different though. I'm normally used to doing these in the middle of the afternoon, and so it's a little bit different doing it a little later at night. And I'm just sending a quick message. Forgive me, to Sam. Make sure that he has got the proper link. And we'll go from there. As I said, yeah, SFOI 1000 is about to kick off. We're going to be going into the new football season at college and NFL, and so we've got guys at a lot of different stadiums around the country, college and pro alike. And so we're trying to raise up more and more guys who will come and be a part of this, because this is a important opportunity, a target-rich opportunity, as it were. The average, when I was in Dallas, I would go and preach at the Dallas Cowboy home game, and the average Dallas home game attendance was about 90,000 people. The college up in Norman, Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Sooners, their stadium holds 100,000 people. And are you going to get to touch all 100,000 of them? No, but you might get to touch a quarter of them. 25,000 people is a lot of is no small amount of people that might be touched with the gospel in some way, might have some seed of the gospel in some way. And so yeah, it's a real strategic opportunity to go and preach and herald the banner of Christ, and the commitment. You might be thinking the whole season. It's every home game, and NFL and college football, they don't have a lot of home games. It's 7 to 8, maybe 9. And Sam is having trouble, so let me see if I can get this link to him another way, and we'll go from there. Let me see. Let me see here. I'm going to send it to me and then to him. Okay. Sorry for the producing on the fly, folks. Please forgive me. I am trying to work with what I have, and I'm not at home, not in my normal setup. So things are just a little bit different. And this should do it. This should be. Come on now. There we go. There we go. He should be on any second now, because he now has the link, and I can confirm it's actually to his inbox. So, yep. So yes, I am a full-time evangelist, and my primary context is in the state of Utah. That's where I am most of the year, and we do regular outreach to the LDS community there. That anything from college campuses, downtown areas, festivals, and we're adding more and more concerts, and it's just it's good. It's good work. It's a joy to bring up the gospel and to bring up the key distinctions to between Christianity and the LDS faith. It's getting more and more tricky because the LDS faith wants to the LDS people are and they're trained to do this. They want to water things down and make things as much on the same level as we can. But then when you really press them for definitions on like who is Christ and what is his nature, they have to fall back on those distinctions that would put them outside of the historic Christian faith. And that's what we're trying to bring them to, so that we can point them to the historic Christian faith. And so let me see if this is from Sam. Okay, he's trying to get in now. So any second now, he'll be on here. Let's see. So yeah, but I don't want to make this about the LDS people today. I want to make this about Sam and his adventuring there in the state of Nevada. In fact, I was actually just in the state of Nevada just earlier this week, this past weekend. Actually, I was in Las Vegas from Friday till Sunday morning, and we were there hosting the SFOI 1000 Fellowship Conference, and fellowship outreach really. It was just a small gathering of us. There was about 7 or 8 of us on the team, and 9 of us. It was good. A small number. It's good. It's just right to have a really enjoyable fellowship and spend time together, encouraging one another, and going out and preaching on the Las Vegas Strip. And we did get a good amount of that in. A number of people heard the gospel, and it was hot. I don't know whose idea it was to schedule in the middle of August, but I guess that's what happens when you have to do a preseason game. But it was hot, and so my hat's off to Sam, who will be on shortly, for his enduring suffering there in the desert state of Nevada for the sake of the kingdom. So yeah, prayers for Sam, definitely. So like I said, he should be clicking on the link shortly, and hopefully getting through the prompts there. It's pretty simple to get in, I hope. But in any case, it's we went and we were on the Vegas Strip, and then for about 3 hours or so, or 3 or 4 hours or so on Saturday evening, we were right outside of Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play, the Las Vegas Raiders. It's weird to say that. It was a really good outing. Yep. I just heard him come online, and so yeah, Sam is online, so I can confirm it. We're going to bring him on shortly. Like I said, Sam is the SFOI coordinator there in Nevada, and he'll get into the details as to what specifically what area that he's in charge of, and he'll talk about ways that we can maybe come alongside, partner with him if you're interested in joining Sam on some of these outreaches there to the games that he's in charge of. I'm sure we'll have the contact information for you to get a hold of him. But before I bring Sam on, just one last thing real quick. I just wanted to say, help us get this word out. Help us get the message out. If you're on your social medias, or if you're watching us from YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe, and please share this content on all your social media channels so that we can help get the message out, because we want to invite more and more people into the more and more men into the realm of preaching the gospel in the open air. We kind of see a groundswell happening of more and more guys participating in this kind of ministry. We want to just tap into that, be a part of that, encourage that, fan the flames of it, because I think more preaching of the proper biblical gospel in a biblical way, in a way that demonstrates the truth of Christ and love, I think more of that is better than less of it. So if you're interested in helping us do that, help us by getting the word out, so we can grow our channels and grow our brand and our platform here, so that more and more people will hear about it, for the sake of more gospel preaching being produced as a result of it. That's our hope and that's our prayer. So I'm going to bring Sam on. We're going to talk to him, and we will see about wrapping this thing up shortly. But let's see. Here we go. Sam, do I have you?
Yes, you do. Hi. How you
All
doing?
right. Very good, sir. Have we met formally at any SOI events or a Super Bowl or anything?
I haven't been able to get to that point yet.
Okay.
Lord willing, it'd be nice to go to a Super Bowl sometime in the future. But I know I was going to go down to the Final Four like in 2020, but then that changed. Everything got canceled. But other than that, I've not had a chance ministry-wise to head out to such a big event like that.
Well, we'd love to have you in New Orleans this year if you got some time.
I really wanted to do Vegas last year since I'm just 6 hours north, but I hate that didn't work out.
Well, Sam, before we get to your story, tell me just really quick what university that you're the SFOI coordinator for, SFOI 1000
Yes.
coordinator?
So I street preach at the University of Nevada in Reno. So, you've got University of Nevada, Las Vegas. That's UNLV, the Vegas area. So up here, if people aren't familiar with Nevada, usually when they think of Nevada, they just think of Vegas specifically. But I go street preach at the rival UNR, which is up in Reno. So you've got Vegas down on the south, and then Reno is the second largest city in Nevada. That's in the northern part. Well, it's like 30 minutes north of Carson City, which is our state capital. And so so last year I went to the university, and it was really good. It was learning how learning the event, learning how, just what kind of traditions they have before the game and where to preach. So got a much better idea now where to handed out a lot of tracts last year, and some interesting conversations, but it was a lot of just learning how to do it more better. Because previously I did them at the Elon University football games. So it was nice to, so it was a big adjustment to get back into it.
All right. Well, before we get too far down the road on the details of that, let's backtrack a little bit more. Sam, tell me your story. How did you come to faith in Christ? In a quick, 2-minute sketch or so, if you can.
Sure. Quick 2 minutes. I grew up in a Reformed Baptist church in Mebane, North Carolina. And so I grew up in a Reformed Baptist church, grew up in a Christian household, grew up hearing solid preaching and around good worship. Then around freshman year of high school is when the Lord really started working in me. Just there was just more of this yearning to be saved and to find salvation in Christ. But at the same time, I was slowly drifting into worldliness, how I talked, what I did. And so then it was at the beginning of 2012 where I started to just read my Bible more. I just started reading through the Old Testament, and then the Lord grew this conviction of my sin, just by reading through Genesis a little. You read about sin in the world, and it started just bringing more awareness to sin, really, and conviction of it. And just one night, the Lord broke me where I came to repentance, and I asked the Lord to save me and have mercy, forgive me of my sins. And the Lord gave me His Spirit, and I woke up the next day just really feeling His presence and His forgiveness, really. And so then I was baptized in August of 2012, and the Lord's just been working in me the last 12 years now of my life. And so it's been 12 years since I've come to Christ, and always lots of ups and downs. I eventually moved out here to Nevada 3 years ago, married my wife, and I have a 1.5-year-old son, and so learning to walk in the Lord and raise a Christian family.
Very good.
Yeah.
And so, what was your story that moved you into this mode of evangelism, wanting to just proclaim Christ in the open air as we do?
Sure. So, being in my church, there was a lot of emphasis on evangelism, this encouragement to learn to reach the lost, but nobody really had answers for that. I noticed even when kids would ask pastors, "Hey, how do I start a conversation with people?" It was just always, kind of like beat around the bush until you kind of talk about Christ. It wasn't more direct to the point, just be comfortable talking about Christ, or it was like tell your story, and wasn't exactly the gospel, so to say. Um, but getting into street preaching, Stephen Ely, who's also in sports fan outreach, I think I think he's associated with you guys, but he lives in the Georgia area. I've seen him online street preach occasionally, so I was familiar with what was going on with it. And then one day, I was still living in Mebane, North Carolina. I was working at Arby's. So funny story. And there was this guy named Ronnie Davis who was in street preaching and evangelism, and he was taking his food out of the counter. And he had a Living Water shirt on. And I said, "Hey, I know that ministry. I like that." And he's like, "You know this?" I'm like, "Yeah." So we connected it. We exchanged phone numbers at the counter, and so eventually he took me out to an abortion clinic out in Greensboro just to slowly get me into the mode of evangelism, and then later he took me to a clinic in Raleigh, but then it took a little time for me to really kick into it. I was interested in doing it eventually, but I just never got around to it. And there was a point in my Christian walk where I really wasn't doing much with myself spiritually, so it was just a lot of downtime. I failed a class in college, and this happened around 2018, I believe. I failed a class in college, and so I was redoing classes in the fall, and it kind of led to a season of depression, and just trying to get out of that just kind of hopelessness stage a bit. And so just something kind of pressed me one morning just to go to the Raleigh abortion clinic, and I just kept doing week after week, going in there. And brother Zach Brady he's with the Raleigh team out there, so he showed me how to street preach at the clinic. And then eventually in 2019 on St. Patrick's Day weekend, I went out to Raleigh for the festivities there, and this guy named Greg Stevens, I think he's known as Street Preacher Greg or something, or Greg the Street Preacher, and he showed me how to street preach and get on the ladder. So that's when I really started learning how to open air preach and evangelize, start conversations. The Lord was just really blessing it and showing it. He was showing how simple it was to me. Just asking people with tracts, do you just want good? Do you want good news? If not, Lord bless you. Just learning to start conversations, showing it really wasn't that as hard as some people made it out to be. And so I tried to move it from the Raleigh area to where I was in the center of North Carolina. So eventually I did more street preaching in my area and the Greensboro area sometimes. Did street preaching in my town at certain events. And that's how I really got into the ministry for the most part.
Very good.
Yeah.
And so how long have you been doing the outreach at the college campus there?
I started last season. I started last season at the University of Nevada. I didn't get too many. So last season I started. Before that, it was back in 2019 actually when I did first start. I volunteered with Sports Fan Outreach 1000 for Elon University that was in Burlington, North Carolina. So I was street preaching at those football games, and then I finally made the transition out here to Nevada. And now that I waited till I was in a comfortable position where, I felt I had time and money, resources to be able to go out to Reno and start street preaching there at the university. So, yeah, this will be the second season out there.
Very good. And so you do home games, but do you also go on campus as well?
Just the home games at the moment. I live over an hour away from Reno.
Wow.
Like an hour drive. It's usually like a long commute between here. So I live in a city called Fallon. So that's where the Cantaloupe Festival's at. It's more I'm more to the east of Reno. Yeah, so it's a little more. It's an hour east. So yeah, more out of the way. But so it takes a bit of time and planning if you want to make road trips out there sometimes because gas prices are high and other factors.
Yeah, I can relate to that for sure. So, what's the average attendance of a game there? Do you know?
Well, last season I didn't see the average. Do you remember the average or? What? I didn't really look at the average of the games. It was a lot of people at first, so the first 2 or 3 games, but they didn't do good last season. So as it got closer toward the end of the season, there was hardly much of a crowd other than students. They weren't.
Yeah.
I think they only won 3 games last season, but should be more people. Yeah, it was a couple thousand. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty packed the first 2 or 3 home games, and then after that,
Okay.
it just started to die down because of the. Well, yeah, there was a lot of fights that was happening in the game, and just the team wasn't doing well. It was a really weird mix. We'd actually go into the game sometime. We'd see like big brawls break out sometimes. It was a pretty big mess. There was even one time street preaching. There was a guy who had drugs in his car, and he was getting busted right in front of us.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
this whole big commotion of him getting taken down by the police right in front of us.
There's a sermon illustration that just plays that right in front of you for you. So.
It does. Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it. So they got a new head coach this year, so hopefully it gets a little better. So it's going to be a little fresh start for the team.
So I did just get a note from Andy Schmelzer, one of the guys listening online right now. Hey, Andy. And he tells us they average about 30,000.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's not a small number. Yeah. So
that is good. It was very packed.
Yeah, and so let's say you're on one corner, assuming that there's roughly 4 corners on an average stadium block, and let's say you only got a quarter of those people. Well, that's still, several thousand people that you can potentially touch with the gospel. We always want to kind of build the picture as to the reach, because some of the pushback that we get is how many people are you actually talking to? Well, there's potential for thousands.
Yeah. It was. I would stand at the front gate, and then toward the end of the season, there was more of a student entrance to the side, and there were more students coming in than actual fans eventually. So I sort of shifted over there toward the end. They have like this big, massive party on the parking lots, far away from the stadium. Like it is
tailgaters.
Insane. Yeah, they get insane. The students get insanely drunk before they get in there.
Yeah. That's like any average football game nowadays.
Yeah, it seems like that.
Except for BYU.
Oh.
Yeah. I preach at the BYU home games in Provo, Utah, and the LDS church is a little bit different. We'll say they got one there for us, I guess. So, yeah.
A lot of visiting. We got a lot of visiting fans too. That seems to be really interesting. It was cool seeing fans come out from Kansas and other universities. So it's a good mix of people.
So you mentioned the Cantaloupe Fest. Is that something that just happened recently?
That's happening this coming weekend. So I've got it.
Okay, that's that's like your big event that you wanted to hype up, right?
Yeah. So I just put it out.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, if anybody on the West Coast wants some kind of big evangelism event to go to, so this coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there's this. Every year we have this massive cantaloupe festival. So cantaloupes grow really good out in our town, and it eventually was so for I don't know how 50 years. Yeah, it's a festival that's been going on for 50 years now, and it's over at our fairgrounds. We have like the fairgrounds has like a big outdoor rodeo stadium, and then we have an indoor rodeo stadium there at the same time. So there's lots of concerts, there's rodeos, there's lots of vendors, farmers market kind of stuff, animals. That brings about 20,000 people out every year, and also a big carnival. They have a carnival side to it as well. So like lots to do, full of events, concerts. It's this big, massive parking lot with the stadium, but then the parking goes on further down the street. So lots of people come out to go in there.
So that's 20,000 people that show up, but every day over the course of the 3 days or something, right? Roughly.
They said it was ticket wise, that's how much they sell it at a weekend. They said it was 20,000.
Okay.
So roughly. Though it's enough events though where it's a constant flow of traffic of people. Especially I've street preached at rodeos there too. It's good opportunities.
And have you had anybody show interest in coming out and helping you yet thus far?
Not yet. No. Huh? Oh, just my wife.
Okay. No. Well, she can't. Yeah.
So, Yep.
How long have you been married?
She's helping. We'll be three years in December.
3 years. Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
And is it Amira? Is that how you say it, or Amira?
Amira. Amira.
Amira. Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Very good.
Oh,
Well, congratulations on to you and your family then. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So if anyone wants to come out, contact me. There's the event page on SFOI. They can check it out. And, so we're 6 hours north of Vegas. If you're coming from that area, or if you go on 80 East, then you can get to us.
Yeah.
Along the area.
Yeah. So if you're interested in this event at all, you can reach out to Sam via our website. If you go to sfoi.org, go to the I guess this would be the June to December events. I'm not. Click on the appropriate tab, and you'll find the event there listed, and you'll be able to get a hold of Sam, and he would love to have you come out and help him preach the gospel. So if there are any men out there that in the southwest corner of the United States that are within a reasonable distance, tell me the name of the town again.
Fallon, Nevada.
Fallon, Nevada, which is about an hour away from Reno. If you're within that area, within 3 or 4 hours of that area, it might be worth it to come out and help Sam preach the gospel. We'd love to see you there. Love to get you started. Sam would love to have the help and be of any assistance that he can to you to get into this kind of ministry. So,
yeah.
Yep. Sam, do you have any other closing thoughts that you wanted to share before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I realize there's also the first home game for Nevada is this coming Saturday, but because of the festival, I won't be able to make it out to that game. So, but after that, I'll be at all the home games.
Yeah, look up the University of Nevada home schedule, and typically for most of those, you'll find Sam on a corner out there lifting up the banner of Christ. And again, he would love to have your help there, helping him pass out tracts. If you're a man who is sent out by your church, you'd love to have you preach with them, and certainly we need your prayers for Sam to have fruitful ministry out there. So with that, Sam, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. It was good talking.
Yep, and we'll pipe you down, and then I will wrap this up. Sam, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming on again, and God bless. Have fruitful outreach this weekend.
Thank you. Lord bless you, brother.
Yeah. Well, folks, that was Sam Wilking, and it is it's been a good getting to hear his story and hear about the Cantaloupe Fest there in his part of the state of Nevada. And so we would love to see you there. Love to see you there preaching the gospel there. We're adding more and more of these festivals every day, just because they're great opportunities. They're great opportunities to go in and reach out to a whole lot of people. That's what we want to be about. We want to be about bringing the gospel to as many people as we can. And so it is our hope that people would sign up with him, and be a part of this effort to bring the gospel to bear there in those places. Now, as I am wrapping this up, I just want to say, again, my name is Joe Hinson. I'm a full-time evangelist, and if you want to help us continue to further the advancement of the gospel in the streets in this country and even around the world, we would love your assistance in doing so. We are able to do this because we partner with other people in the body of Christ to be co-laborers with them through their support, through their giving. We are able to continue at this call. And so if you are interested at all in supporting my ministry, I would love for you to consider going to www.georgewhitfieldprogram.org/Joe-Hinson, Hinson. And if you're not sure how to find that, you can at least go to georgewhitfieldprogram.org and click on the Preachers tab and go down, and you can find my name. And I would greatly appreciate you considering being a part of my ministry, helping me continue to advance the kingdom in the way that He has called us to do. So with that, I'll go ahead and sign off and say God bless, and we'll